We're at Scepter Records. It was amazing. We recorded at Scepter. We hung out there every day. Some of the new songwriters there who basically came in penny loafers and blue jeans and t-shirts were Burt Bacharach and Hal David, Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. And we hung out with them and they were pitching songs to, Dionne Warwick and things like that. And Florence Greenberg wrote Soldier Boy for the Shirelles, and she managed the Shirelles. That was on her label. And us guys backed up the Crystals, the Ronettes, and the Shirelles, and had a really incredible summer. And we recorded there at Scepter, and what amazed me is Florence Greenberg's son, Stanley Greenberg, was the recording engineer, and he was blind. And this absolutely baffled me. He had somebody set up the microphones, and he just sat there and twiddled the knobs. This is a recording in 4-track. He's twiddling the knobs, and he would make Dionne Warwick demos sound great. Then later on, those demos would go to Phil Ramone over to his studio, and Dionne Warwick, they'd get a full orchestra, and they'd record her. But our stuff was like the real stuff done by Stanley Greenberg. The Beatles had a song that went, Paperback Writer, and I wanted to write a song like that, because that was a copy of Johnny B. Good, where Chuck Berry wrote a song about the story of a life, a guy who lived in a log cabin made of earth and wood, and a country boy named Johnny B. Good. It was a day in the life of a guy. This was the day in the life of a songwriter. I wanted to write a song like Paperback Writer. So I look at Stanley Greenberg and I talk to him. I say, Stanley, I want to write a song about you. He came to work every day. This is like in August in New York, so it's like 95, humid, hot. We're wearing cutoffs and ripped shirts and flip-flops, and he comes in every day in a white button-down shirt, a tweed wool jacket with leather patches on the elbow, a tweed tie, tweed pants with like 2 pleats there. Remember those pants that had pleats? Little leather shoes that had like toe doilies on, little punch up on the toes. That's your dad wore, right? I said, Stanley, it's so hot out there. Why do you dress like that? And he said, I want to look like George Martin. He's the best producer in the world. I said, yeah, you look like George Martin. You're really amazing, Stanley. I want to write a song about you. And because you wear a white collar every day, and I'm trying to get a name like Paperback Writer or Johnny B. Good at Day. So I'm going to call this song White Collar Worker, and it'll be about you because you always wear a white button down. And then I said, why do you leave the studio every day at 10 o'clock? Because musicians, we start work like now, 8 or 9 at night. We start work, we work till midnight. That's our hours. And he would leave at 10. I said, why do you leave at 10? He said, well, I take the train home. I said, you don't live in New York? He said, no, I can't afford to live in New York. I said, your mother owns the label in the studio. Are you kidding? He said, no, I take the train. So I said, so how do you get to the train? He says, I walk. I can't afford a taxi. I said, wow, this guy's mother's a cheapskate. I didn't say that to her. So I said, look, I want to write a song about you. Can I come with you? He said, where? I said, where do you get the train? He said, Grand Central Station. I said, fabulous. This is on 354 West 54th Street. And so he said, but don't try to help me. Okay, I've been doing this all my life because you tend to want to help a visually impaired person. Don't touch me, just walk beside me and don't talk to me. I said, why not? He said, I count steps. That's how he gets there. So and he's got a white cane, and I'm really enchanted by this whole thing. This is my first experience with a blind guy. And so we go and he counts like 587 steps this way. And he stops and waits on a little thing, tweets, and he knows he can cross the intersection there. And he counts 357 steps. And I'm amazed at this whole thing. And we do end up at Grand Central Station. And he gets the train home, and I'm looking around to try to write a song and get some meat, some fodder for a song. The streets are empty. You're in New York at 10:15. Everyone's in the theaters or in Madison Square Garden. The streets are deserted. At 10:30, it's going to be a parking lot at the World's Fair, bumper to bumper. But now there's nobody on the streets. There's nobody in Grand Central. So I think, Stanley, I don't think I can write a song about you called White Collar Worker. There's nothing to write about. It'd be like really boring. And but when do you come in the morning? He said, I take the 8:15 into the city. Oh, great, and when does that get here? He said, well, it gets here about 8:45, and I walk to work and start my slaving job to get my pay. Okay, what time should I come here to meet you? And he says, come about like 8:45, that's when the train gets in. So I go there about 8:45, he's on the 8:15, and I go there, and literally all the girls are there doing their makeup, because they're all working at Mutual of New York, downtown, near Grand Central, and they're trying to look pretty. And I go, wow, here's a song, here's a song, here's a song. So here's the original song I wrote that is not that good. But I'll show you how I co-wrote it with myself 5 years later. It's really great to co-write with yourself. You don't mind sharing that royalty check. So here's the song I wrote. This is copying Paperback Writer. They get up in the morning from the alarm clock's warning, take the 8:15 made it to the city. There's a whistle up above and people pushing, people shoving, and the girls who try to look pretty. Same lyrics. The train is on time, you can get to work by 9. Start your slaving job to get your pay. If you ever get annoyed, look at me, I'm self-employed, and I'll have to work at nothing all day. And then it went, white collar worker, white collar worker. Just like paperback writer, paperback. So I love this song. This is me copying John Lennon. I played for Burton Cummings. He says, gag me with a drumstick. We'll never do this song. Why not? We'll get sued by the Beatles. I said, yeah, well, we'll get to meet them. And he said, but I don't want to meet them in court. So that song got passed on by the Guess Who. White Collar Worker got passed on and never made it on the Wheatfield Soul album, the Canned Wheat, or the American Woman album, or the follow-up album. I then left the Guess Who in 1970, started a new country-ish band at the urging of Neil Young to kind of be like Buffalo Springfield and Poco. We were called Brave Belt. Neil Young got us a record deal with Priest Records. We released Brave Belt 1 and Belt 2, and it went nowhere because country rock was falling apart at that time. Out of those ashes came the Eagles, but Buffalo Springfield had broken up, Poco had broken up, and everybody else had broken up. And so Brave Belt 3 basically became BTO 1. We just changed our name and changed labels. And the story goes on and on and on, how we got the name Bachman Turner Overdrive from a trucker magazine called Overdrive. We used the name Bachman Turner. That song never made it on Brave Belt 1, Brave Belt 2, or Brave Belt 3, which was BTO 1. We're playing a club in Vancouver, and you want to know what real work is? 6 days a week, 5 one-hour sets a night, Monday from 7 to 1 o'clock in the morning, 5 15-minute sets a night. We're doing this in Vancouver. People think we're rich, we've got BTO 1 on the charts. You're barely breaking even. You guys know what it's like, where everyone thinks you're made it, you're only breaking even, right? It's that way with most musicians. So as I'm driving over the bridge that night to go to the gig, and it's Saturday night, so we've been playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all week long. Daryl B's on the radio, Burton's friend who got us the earlier gigs. This is Daryl B on CFUN Radio, and we're taking care of business. I go, oh, what a song title that is. I gotta write it down. I have a songwriting kit in my car that you probably have in yours. It's a McDonald's napkin and a smashed crayon. From the kids with grandkids. So you gotta write it down. So I write it down, taking care of it. I'm driving over the bridge with one hand and writing it, taking care of it. I don't want to forget this title, it's so phenomenal. And it goes, I don't know what I'm doing with it, I just write it down, great title. And it goes next to, there's a little shelf next to my heart of a few of my favorite things. And there are the lyrics to the verses of White Collar Worker. You get it, we get to the gig, Fred Turner's been screaming his face off all week, and the last 10 o'clock Saturday night he says, I can't sing anymore. You gotta sing the last set. Well, I've got to sing the last set. So with a singer like Burton Cummings, a singer like Turner, I didn't sing that much. I sang the gang vocals. I sang the high harmonies like I Get Around on the Beach Boys song. And even in no time, I'm singing the high line. And undone, I went, Cha! That was my big part. And I'm thinking, gee, what kind of do I got to sing the last set? And the club owner's looking at his watch. He's going like this. He's going like this. In a rock and roll club, they exist for one thing, to sell booze. So they turn up the heat at the end of the night. They give you pretzels and popcorn, peanuts, salty, and you buy more stuff. But you got to get them up dancing. So he wants them up dancing. So I've got to sing a song, and I don't know what to sing. I'm not really a singer at that point. And I think of the man who can't sing, Mr. Bob Dylan. I'm going to do a Dylan song, and I only know one, but the reason I did that was Rick Nelson did a better version of She Belongs to Me. Bob Dylan was 2 souls. I'm trying to get the people up dancing. So I start out, she's got everything she needs, she's an artist, she come Yeah, that's what happened there. I start to play that, nobody's dancing and they're all laughing. It's like a stand-up comedy, right? So I'm thinking, what am I doing? The club owner's going, get them up dancing, get them up dancing. He's going like this, giving me these signals. It's time. Carlos Santana had a song on the radio at the time called Oye Como Va. I know absolutely no Spanish. My mother's Ukrainian. Remember the Ukrainian parties? Playing violin. I'm going to do the Ukrainian version of Oye Como Va. I've got to get them up dancing. everyone is up dancing. The club owner's going, okay, okay, and he's going like this, which is TV for keep it rolling, don't let them sit down. We did that song for a little bit, and my mind is flashing, what are you going to do next, what are you going to do next? And the light comes on the other side of my brain going, this is your big opportunity for white collar worker. The band has said no for 4 years. And guess who said no for 4 years? They are your hostage on stage. They cannot say no. You've got to keep them dancing. So I turn around, and all the chords I played, the original white collar worker, too many damn chords. I think of the Kingsmen, Louie, 3 rockin' chords. So I turn around to the band and say, here's 3 chords, follow me. When I get to the hook, sing it. They go, what are you doing? I said, just sing it. So I start. They get up in the morning from the Lord clock's morning, take the 8:15 into the city. There's a whistle up above and people pushing, people shoving, and the girls the driver. So it goes on, and when it gets to the white collar worker, I don't do that. I just keep going, taking care of business. Fits every day, taking care, and everybody's dancing. Every way we've been taking care of business. It's all right, taking care of business, working overtime, working. We played that for a half an hour. They were up dancing, we had nothing else to do. Every time we stopped playing that, the audience sensed the thing happened. When I wrote American Woman on stage, this electric, if you go to a jazz concert, guys are jamming up, they don't know what they're doing, but they're getting messages from somewhere, and they're playing together, and it's an amazing conglomeration of ideas and vibe and everything. So the audience felt us. Every time we'd stop the song, they would just say, taking care of business, just like you hear on the record. My brother would keep that kick drum going. And so we did that for like a half an hour. So a couple of weeks later, we go to record the song, and I read out the lyrics for Fred Turner, who had the big Let It Ride, Rolling Down the Highway, Harley Davidson voice. And he says, why are you giving me these lyrics? I go, don't you want to sing the song? He said, no, I want you to sing it and stop doing the pierogi song and the bad Bob Dylan crappy thing and sing our own song. You can be my relief singer, but sing one of our own songs. So you wrote the song. We'll hide it on BTO somewhere on the second side. Nobody will hear it, but it'll actually be a real song that you were singing. That's your own song. So we go to the studio in Seattle, and we're recording the song. We go at 10 in the morning. This is now like 12:30 at night, so we've been there like 14 hours. And so we do Taking Care of Business, and I sing it once, and there's no big deal. I've got a sore throat, and I'm nasally and everything like that. And there's a knock at the door. We're putting on our jackets to go home. There's a knock at the door, and I open the door, and there's a guy standing there. He's about 6'3" or 4", big frizzy square beard, black beard, frizzy hair, an army cap on, an army fatigue jacket, and he's holding pizza. And I go, yeah. And he said, you guys ordered pizza? And I said, no, try down the hall. Studio 1 was Steve Miller was doing Fly Like an Eagle album, and that was B, and Studio C was War doing Why Can't We Be Friends album, and we were in Studio A. And so he goes down, he comes back, there's a knock at the door again. We're putting on our jackets, we're just about to leave. And I said, oh, you got rid of the pizza? And he's yelling, I said, well, can we help you? And he's kind of standing around like, looking around. I said, can I help you? Well, like, what's up? And he said, I'm not really a pizza delivery guy, I'm a piano player. And I only deliver at the end of the month when I can't pay my rent. And I've been listening to the song to the door, and it's really a good rock and party song. Can I play piano on it? I go, what? He said, yeah, give me a shot, man. I'm just a piano player. I said, well, I know Elton John, Little Richard, so I was like thinking of asking him, please, man, give me a shot, just one shot. I can play like Elton, I can play Little Richard, I can play Dr. John. I said, okay, man, I'll give you a shot. So we're putting on our coats. Normally when you're going to record a piano, you can have a guy in who's called a piano tuner. He tunes it up. We threw a mic in this old piano, covered up with a blanket, said, do one take, we're going home. He played one take, he went delivering pizza, we went home. Didn't even hear it back. The next day, the head of our label, the guy who discovered You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, flies in, he comes in a day early. He wants to hear the album. I say, Charlie, you're here a day early. He says, I don't care, play me what you got. So I say to the engineer, okay, we're gonna play in the whole album. When you play TCB, don't play the piano track. I don't know if it's good or bad or sharp or flat or what it is, I don't know. Don't play the piano track. We play the whole album, we get to the second side, it's getting near the end, and the engineer pushes up the volume, and Charlie hears the piano, and he goes, what on earth is that? I go, it's a piano. He goes, BTO at the piano, that is amazing, because all you guys are the same. You and ZZ Top and Frampton and the Doobie Brothers and Allman Brothers, you're all guitar, bass, and drums. Elton John owns AM and FM radio because of his piano playing. Let me hear that whole song again, because he had only heard half of it, the last half. So we wind it back, we play the whole song, you go, that's amazing, that'll get you AM and FM radio play, you'll be all over the radio. who's playing the piano. I said, a pizza delivery guy. He goes, what? Seriously, Randy, stop joking around. Who played the piano? I said, a guy delivered pizza here, Charlie. He's a piano player. He asked to play piano. I gave him one shot. We've never heard this before. It's the first time we heard it. Just like you heard it. He said, leave it the way it is. It's charming. I go, are you kidding? It's very ragged. It speeds up and slows down. He said, it's charming. It's a party song. Leave it the way it is. The guy, so I have to find out who this guy is. He says, you'll be sued by the guy. He's got to be in the union. Is he in the union? I'm like, well, I don't know. So I go back to Steve Miller, knocking there. Steve, where'd you get the pizza from last night? We didn't have pizza last night, man. Try Jerry down the hall. Jerry Goldsmith, Producing War. Go and knock on their door at Studio C. Come on in. I go in, it's like Cheech and Chong's basement. I can hardly see in there. War is in there, they're recording. They've been in there for like 4 or 5 days. They say, hey guys, where'd you get pizza from last night? They go, it is last night, man. It's still last night. They haven't even gone home. So they didn't order the pizza. They ordered the pizza, but they didn't know where it came from, and somebody had cleaned up the studio. They just take out all the junk. So I go to the lady at the front of the studio, the receptionist. I say, okay, you gotta do me a favor. Here's the yellow pages. You started at Antonio's and phone every pizza place within like 3 blocks, and I'll start at Mario's halfway through and ask if they have a delivery boy that looks like Fidel Castro. Which seems hilarious, but it's the only way I can remember this guy with the big frizzy beard in the army suit. So I get lucky, with the 3rd phone call. Yeah, we have a guy. He's not really a delivery guy. The piano player guy? And I go, yeah. What's his name? He said, we can't give our employees names. Is he working today? Yeah, he comes in about 6. Okay, will you send him down with a pizza? What kind of pizza? I'll take yesterday's pizza. We just want the guy. So he comes in. His name is Norman Durkee. That is the piano you hear. I'm taking care of it. This is One Take by Norman Durkee. That was a break for him. He joined the union. He became Bette Midler's musical director on her first North American tour. And when I toured with Ringo Starr's All-Star Band in '95, we ended up our concert at the Greek Theater in LA, where the LA Philharmonic played, and the pianist for the LA Philharmonic was Norman Durkee. Wow. So that is my TCB Norman Durkee story. And when I stopped playing violin, I got to tell you this, I played violin until I was 14. And then I quit, because I hated classical violin. The next day after I quit, something happened on our television set. We didn't have one. My rich Jewish friend across the street had the first black and white 12-inch TV on the block. I got invited over after dinner Sunday night and saw Elvis Presley for the first time. It was electric. His mother was screaming. My mother was there screaming. My mother's younger sister was screaming. Why are you screaming? Look at this guy shaking around. He's doing all this Elvis stuff. And I said, well, what is that? And they said, that's Elvis, that's rock and roll, and that's a guitar. And I said, I want to do that. I was sick of standing there doing this perfect Royal Conservatory violin thing. So I got a guitar, and you know the rest of that story with the Guess Who and everything else. About 10 years ago, I was watching an HBO special on Graceland, and Priscilla Presley was on saying, yeah, we were with Elvis driving to the airport in LA to fly back to Memphis. Elvis was hungry and he owned a Dairy Queen there. You go to Dairy Queen after hours and rock out. Anyways, and he heard a song on the radio by a Canadian band called Taking Care of Business. And he said, I want it to be my motto, and that'll be my band, the TCB band of Lightning Bolt. If you go to Graceland today, Elvis's tombstone says TCB on it. And so that's kind of my Elvis story, how he made me switch to rock and roll and how like TCB is now on his tombstone. And I heard his band recorded that at a rehearsal, and it might be coming out, so there might be an Elvis version of TCB coming out soon, because they're going to be doing virtual shows. What's it called?
Hologram.
Hologram and stuff. They're doing an ABBA one. They're doing a Beatles one. Everything's doing, so we're going to get to go see ABBA again. Isn't that great? Yeah. Elvis, the Beatles. So anyways, here's the reel. And we're standing up, so if you want to stand up and rock out, you can sit in the middle. It's real TCB.